Welcome back to Second Take. We're here again. I'm Jillian Kushner. That's Armand Sadler. We got some stuff to discuss with you this week. Since our last episode, I was able to go to my first Yankees game against the Rangers in Dallas. I went with my dad and my sister. And while the Yankees did not win that one, it was still really exciting for me to see Derek Jeter. And we have to talk about Brett Gardner because he is absolutely on fire lately. Against Yu Darvish, he has had how many home runs, Armand?
Brett Gardner in his career is 4 for 10 against Yu Darvish. His 4 hits are home runs, and 2 of them were hit in the game that Jillian attended and I was watching. So it's been very good to see him doing so well lately because obviously the Yankees are kind of sucking this season. So it's good we have some bright spot with Brett Gardner.
Yes, he has been very good for the Yankees. Going into the game, Ellsbury's out, CC Sabathia's out, Teixeira's out, and then all of a sudden, in the last inning, Teixeira comes out, Ellsbury comes out. Not sure what happened there, but now they are starting to play a little bit more, so that's good for them because they were injured and out. Not CC, though. CC's done for the season. But again, it is nice to see Brett Gardner out there doing something because Derek Jeter can't do it all, and we needed some help with them. And right now we are in a series with the Red Sox. We lost the first game and won last night. And there is some news with the Red Sox. Armand, you want to discuss that?
I got it, yeah. The Red Sox recently got rid of their ace in their rotation, in my opinion, Jon Lester. He went to the Athletics. They picked up 2-time home run derby champion Yoenis Cespedes, who's been really good this season. So it was harmful to their rotation losing Lester, but it was good for their lineup to pick up Cespedes. He immediately was batting cleanup for them. He batted 1 for 4 yesterday in the loss to the Yankees, but it's definitely a good pickup for them and their lineup. So the Red Sox are currently in last place, so it definitely has to suck for him to leave the best team in baseball right now to go to one of the worst teams in baseball. But I mean, the Red Sox are looking to improve their lineup, so we'll see what happens with that.
Hopefully the Red Sox still suck, as us Yankee fans would love. We want to talk about some basketball. Recently there was a terrible injury that happened to Paul George in the USA basketball scrimmage thing in Las Vegas. I don't even know how to describe it, nor am I going to accompany it with a picture because it is so gruesome. Basically, his lower leg bent in a way that no leg should bend. He was immediately carted off. The scrimmage was canceled. No one felt like playing after that. All the players were just extremely upset seeing that happen because Paul George is a great player. Definitely never want to see that happen to anybody, and definitely not Paul George. He was then taken to the hospital. They did a surgery. I heard there's some rumors floating around. I hear it's a compound fracture, and supposedly the bone did break out of the skin. It was very similar to that Kevin Ware injury that we saw last year. That was disgusting, and we couldn't escape because it was literally all over the internet. But very similar to that, Paul George they say it's expected to take 8 months to heal, so we are not going to see him this season. That is almost for certain. It is a terrible injury, harmful to the Pacers, but mostly just it sucks to see someone that great go down, and we hope he recovers quickly. We already discussed that Lance Stevenson is no longer on the Pacers, so the Pacers are pretty much empty right now. Paul George was their leader. Again, it was a terrible injury to see. It really ruined the mood in the entire basketball world, sports world in general. Derrick Rose did have a good game in that little pickup game, which was good for a lot of Bulls fans since Derrick Rose has been, we could say, a letdown. So that was good news from that game. Again, everything was just about Paul George. Terrible injury. We hope he recovers. He's still in the hospital. I believe they need to keep him for another day or so. So we just hope speedy recovery to him.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely. It was a really awful video to watch. I actually watched it multiple times to really understand the severity of the injury. It was bad. In the short term, it's going to hurt Team USA. Paul George is definitely one of the best players on that team. It's going to hurt the Pacers. We discussed that they lost Lance Stevenson. Roy Hibbert is shaky. Paul George is their star. And it's going to hurt Paul George. Paul George is on the rise these past couple of seasons. He's really become an elite player in the league. And now he's going to have a similar situation as Derrick Rose had. Derrick Rose had that MVP season. Then he went down the season after, didn't play the season after, and now he's finally back. We'll see what he can do. He's definitely not going to be the player he used to be. And it's going to be the same for Paul George. It's going to take a lot of recovery time. He's going to miss a full season. I think that mentally for him, getting back out on the court and just playing, he's going to be a little shaky because, I mean, having that happen to you once, it's not something you want to have happen again or even a similar injury. So I know he's going to be a bit skeptical to step back on the court. But he's Paul George, and I'm sure he's going to miss basketball. So he's going to be back out there eventually, but it's going to be a long recovery process. A lot of players, Kevin Durant posted an Instagram for him. LeBron James posted an Instagram for him. Paul George is really respected. So a lot of people are in his corner and hoping that he comes back soon. And we at Second Take hope the same.
Absolutely. Wishing for a speedy recovery. Floyd Mayweather was also in attendance to that game and went and visited Paul George in the hospital, which is really great to see. You know, different sports supporting each other. I love it. But please recover quickly. Terrible injury. I mean, if you guys want to go and watch it, be my guest, but I recommend you don't because it was terrible to watch. Moving on, we do want to discuss, there was a little bit of drama on our sister show, First Take. Stephen A. Smith made some comments about the Ray Rice allegations. Ray Rice was arrested for domestic abuse against his wife. There's a video of him dragging her basically lifeless body out of an elevator after they had a fight in the elevator where he put his hands on her. Terrible video to see, but Stephen A. Smith was discussing it on First Take, and I'm not sure what he was trying to say, but what he ended up saying was that a woman should know when they need to calm down because a guy is about to hit them. It was very weird for him to say. One of his ESPN co-workers, she took to Twitter and she was bashing Stephen A. Smith, saying that she had been in her own abusive relationship and saying, so I deserve this, so it's my fault. Stephen A. came out and apologized. Again, I have no idea what he was actually trying to say. He has a week suspension from ESPN, so he won't be on air. It was a messy situation, but it's even messier is that Ray Rice is only getting a 2-game suspension for this. 2 games. Roger Goodell said this is normal protocol, and the issues I have with this, I don't even know where to begin. For him to not, first of all, he should be in jail. Secondly, 2-game suspension is absolutely pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. I've already alluded to the fact that there's a weird disrespect towards women's culture in football, and seeing something like this, it's disgusting. There's no way he should be only suspended for 2 games. Suspend him for a whole season. Actually do something that counts with it. 2 games is really nothing. What Ray Rice did is unforgivable. I'm sure his wife will never forget it. I'll never forget it. What he did was terrible, and I believe jail should be one thing, and more than a 2-game suspension. I think this is a pathetic ruling by the NFL, and they can do a lot better than this.
Yeah, first, Stephen A. Smith is known for making controversial statements, so I'm not surprised at all that he said what he said. It's wrong to some, might not be wrong to others, but I think that him getting some time off the show is probably best in terms of publicity for First Take. It's a very popular show. You don't want the fans to be angry with one of the cornerstones of it, so I think that it's best for business to keep Stephen A. off for some time. In terms of the Ray Rice situation, jail, maybe, but it definitely should be more than a 2-game suspension. You just can't, like, compared to what Josh Gordon got a full season suspension for drugs, and Ray Rice is beating people up, and he got 2 games. First of all, that's awful on Roger Goodell's part. It should be flip-flopped, in my opinion. But I think that also there's a lot of speculation about the Ray Rice situation, but nobody knows the situation more than Ray Rice and his wife. And I feel like there are details that haven't been released yet, so you can't completely punish one side yet. I think that the situation needs to be delved into more, but it should definitely be more than a 2-game suspension. And jail, maybe. I'm not completely sold on the fact he should be in jail.
I don't care what happened in that elevator. I don't care what she said to him. I don't care about anything that happened. But for him to put his hands on her, that's jail for me. I have no tolerance for that. The NFL should have no tolerance for that because that is terrible publicity for the NFL. It is disgusting. No man should ever treat a woman like that. Definitely not his wife. Definitely not someone who he's sharing the rest of his life with. So no, I think jail, absolutely. That's where he deserves to be because no one should ever put their hands on a woman. No one should ever disrespect a woman like that. And that's just fact to me. 2-game suspension, pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. What kind of message are you sending out to the rest of the players? Oh, don't do drugs, but if you want to lay hands on your wife, like, try not to get it caught on video. Like, it's absolutely pathetic by the NFL. Absolutely pathetic. And you alluded to Josh Gordon, and he is currently, this is quite bizarre, he's currently trying to prove that he failed his drug test because of secondhand smoke. So we will see what goes on with that. I'm expecting that that will not work. Just putting it out there. That's probably not going to work. I don't think you failed your drug test from secondhand smoke, but, you know, A for effort for Josh Gordon. He's really trying to not get suspended, and that's cool, but sometimes you just got to take the loss when it's given to you.
Yeah, I think secondhand smoke is probably a pretty awful defense for him failing his drug test. He hasn't been making good decisions lately. First the drugs, then DUI. With the Browns just drafting Johnny Manziel and getting Miles Austin, they really have the chance to become more competitive. But with him being out, that's going to hurt them a lot. So I really think he needs to get his stuff together, appeal the suspension, find a lawyer, come up with a better defense than that, but stop making dumb decisions because you're really hurting your credibility, your publicity, as well as the whole Cleveland Browns organization.
And I just got a notification that Tiger Woods injured his surgically repaired back, the one that he had surgery on, I think, about a year ago. So he is withdrawing from the current invitational that he's in. Again, that's not good for Tiger Woods. We've been talking about injuries today, and that's another player who's been plagued by injuries lately, and we hope for the best for Tiger Woods, hopes he recovers from that, but it's not looking good right now, Tiger. It's not looking good. I also want to discuss, we discussed a little bit about the Texas drama happening last week. Charlie Strong just had a press conference. He announced that Josh Turner was reinstated. I said last week he was dismissed. They had a meeting that changed. I don't know what was said in that meeting, but something good must have happened. So Josh Turner is back on the team. He is now facing a suspension, as is Deshaun Johnson. And we don't know how long those suspensions will be yet. We'll find out hopefully sometime soon. Joe Bergeron, Jalen Overstreet, and Shavasky Collins are all dismissed from the team. Kendall Thompson is now a medical redshirt, so his football playing career is over. Kendall Sanders and Montrell Meander, the ones who were involved in the sexual assault, have been indefinitely dismissed from the team, which is something we have all been waiting to hear. They are set to go to their preliminary hearings sometime in the next month, and we will see what happens with that legally. But as for now, they are no longer Texas Longhorns. The program can move on. Charlie Strong is saying that he really wants people who are dedicated to this team, and if they're not, then they just need to break a core value and they're out of here. And it's really great to see someone who's really cracking down like that. Again, it sucks to see some of these guys go, knowing them personally, but if it's better for my team, then I'm okay with it. And I'm glad to see this culture change at Texas. Not much other college football news, but Dorial Green-Beckham, he was at Missouri, and he is now at OU, and they're saying that he might be able to play immediately instead of the 1 year off that usually happens when you transfer in college sports. Not sure why that's going to happen, but it might, which would not be good for us Texas fans because he is a very good receiver, and for OU to have him, that is pretty bad for us. So I'm kind of hoping he gets that year sitting out, but I guess we'll see what happens. Any other news you need to discuss, Armand?
I'm good. Again, it's been a pretty slow week in sports. It's been like that recently. Ray Allen discussed how he's not set on retiring or signing with the team yet. There was speculation about him being interested in playing with the Cavs, who wouldn't be with LeBron James going there. Mike Miller and James Jones already signed there, so they might become the Cleveland Heat. There's also Andrew Wiggins released a statement this week. He sounded a little upset about the fact that the Cavs want to trade him. He said, I just want to play for a team that wants me. I feel you, bro. I'd be a little mad, too, if I was the number 1 draft pick and I'm looking to be traded so a team could bring in someone better because they feel like they could win a ring with him. But Kevin Love, the Timberwolves boss, feels that the Kevin Love trade will happen by the 23rd, 24th. So we can expect to see Kevin Love on the Cavs at some point this month. The proposed trade is Andrew Wiggins, this year's #1 pick, Anthony Bennett, last year's #1 pick, and a future first-round pick. So the Cavs are giving up a lot of young talent, picking up Kevin Love. We'll see. I mean, obviously, it would be a great move for them. We've expressed how we felt about it multiple times the past couple of weeks, but it's still being talked about, so it's still worth discussing.
Yeah, I really do feel bad for Andrew Wiggins. He sounded very sad in that statement. He really just wants somebody to want him. The Cavs discontinued his jersey on the NBA website, so we're kind of seeing what's about to happen. Cavs are giving up a lot to try to get Kevin Love. It's the point I don't know if that's the smartest move. Again, only time will tell. But the Cavs are confident in their decision making, then good for them. I'm assuming we're going to see Kevin Love on the Cavaliers in the foreseeable future, as Armand said, within this month. A lot of college football camps have started this week. Football is so close. We only have a few more weeks. By the end of this month, we will be sitting out there watching some beautiful college football. All will be right in the world because football will be back. And I'm excited. I know Armand's excited. I think everyone's excited. So it's only a few more weeks. We can do this. We can hold out. We got this. Football's coming. It's about to be great. We want to thank you guys for joining in again. I know another short show, but once football season starts, we're going to be telling you guys everything. But as I said, just a few more weeks, and we're almost there. Episode 30 is coming up. Hopefully we're going to have something big planned for y'all. But again, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week.